everybody. 2021 is almost here. Very close. It's just going to be here in a few days. And everyone says it's going to be even better than 2020. It's got to be. How can anything really be worse? 2020 has been so hard. And I'm here to say that that could be true, but all that relies on you. Hey guys, Patrick here, Powering Back Personal Fitness. Welcome to PatFacts, the 27th of December. We're talking tonight about making 2021 better than 2020. Hopefully your best year yet, because we're always trying to get better and evolve and continue to reach for that next level, but at least better than 2020. But again, it's not just going to happen. A lot of people that I see and hear comment and are posting things out almost expect it to happen. Well, 2020 was really hard, and it was. So 2021's got to be a great year. It's got to be good. It can be, but again, anything that's worth doing or worth having, it's going to take some work. This is no different. It's going to take work. We have to make 2021, hey, Joseph, the better year than 2020. It's not just going to happen. We have to put steps in place starting now. We can't wait for 2021 to start those steps. We have to put things in place now so that when 2021 arrives, we're already on the right path to making it better than 2020. It's not just one of those things that once the calendar flips, it's a magical switch. Remember, we've talked here about controlling our controllables. That's all we can control is what we can control. So now again is a great time to put those to the test and control what we can and modify what we need to. Again, with everything going on, we can't control what restrictions are put on us, what zone we live in, where we can and can't go right now. But what we can control is how good we take care of ourselves. We can control how we spend our time. We can control how often we move and make ourselves feel better. We can control what we put into our body. We can control what we consume for information. All those things we can control, and we can start now to really clean that up a little bit to really get into 2021 and get off on the right foot. Maybe there's something you'd be looking to improve on in a certain area. Maybe it's something you've been working on since March when this all started. If you've been with me since then, or even later, if you've joined us later, everything kind of shut down back in March. Feels like yesterday. But maybe there's stuff you're still working on, or maybe you've made progress, and that's awesome. What's the next step? What's that next level? Hey, Kathy, what's the next kind of hurdle? What's the next goal? What's the next checkpoint for you to ensure that, again, 2021 starts off on the right foot? And it's very important that we take the onus of it. We can't rely on other people because who knows what could go on or what could happen. And again, that's giving control to other people. We want to keep control as much as we can of those things that we can have control over. We want to be in the driver's seat as much as we can for our plan, for our roadmap into 2021. So it's very important to take some time here. If you're off work for holidays, if you're not working much because of the lockdown you're in or the zone you're in, if you're back working from home, whatever the case is, try to carve out some time for you now to plan your 2021. What's it going to look like? Hey, Sheila, thank you very much. Belated Merry Christmas to you as well. Hope you had a great one. And everyone else as well. Hope you had a great Christmas. We haven't been chatting since then. What's your 2021 going to look like? What are the things you want to accomplish? What are the systems you want to put in place? What are the things that you want to stop doing or limit how much you do? What are the areas that if you can start a little bit of planning now, you can give yourself a higher chance of success of meeting those goals and achieving them and surpassing them by putting in some footwork now. So take some time, reflect, plan ahead, do your year plan. Do a year review to see what worked, what didn't this year as well. Probably quite a few things that didn't, but again, most of that wasn't our control. So maybe take some time, do a little year review. What did you do even just from March, again, till now when this whole thing started and the world changed? How did you change? What were you doing? What were you putting into place that worked? What were the things you did that made a big difference for you? And maybe you can take some of those habits or some of those results or some of those systems that we talk about, and now let's take them to what you want to do in 2021. And how are you going to make that work for you? How are you going to, hey, Sergeant Ken, good evening. Stand up straight, Sergeant Ken's here. Thanks for hopping on. Hope you're doing well. We want to have that roadmap in place to lay out the year, to know where do you want to be. Where do you want to be in February and March of next year? What do you want to have accomplished? What do you want to be in the middle of progressing towards or working towards goal-wise? We want to lay those out as we go through the year and know we just don't want to wander into the year. We want to go in with a plan and have an idea of where we're going. Then we can make the map and we can try to follow that map to know that we're on the right track and that we're working towards what we want to work towards. And if not, then we know, we'll recognize that, and we can tweak as we need to and adjust and modify. Hoo-ah, Sergeant Ken, that's right. So sometimes our plans won't work. Sometimes things will come up, and that's okay. But again, if we have a plan, we have a system, or we have a goal in mind, then we can check in and know that, you know what, I still want this goal, but I'm not on the right path. Something's not right. What's not working? What can I modify to make it work for me? And we need that system in place. So again, we've talked about taking, hey, Inside Health Clinic, good evening, taking some of our, what we've learned and growing and moving and taking some of that skill and applying it to other facets of our life. We talked about having a system in place. If you were doing improving your fitness or weight loss or a better sleep pattern or learning Spanish, whatever it was you were doing these past few months, you should have a system in place. And again, now we want to take some of that system, that framework, and now apply it to 2021. You've got experience from 2020 that's going to help you succeed in 2021. And that's how we have to frame it and look at it. That's how we have to approach it. Awesome. Sergeant Ken says on January 4th, he's beginning a 30-day growth plan by John C. Maxwell. Awesome. Yeah, and my 5-year-old's going crazy upstairs. So thanks for popping in, Ken. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. But we want that framework, that roadmap, that system. And if we approach it as an opportunity and as lessons learned, just think of that different perspective. Just listen to it. Instead of 2020 was such a crummy year, everything went wrong, everything shut down, couldn't do what we wanted to, we couldn't see the people we wanted to. Or, you know what, 2021, I was able to put in a system. I learned how to have success with goals. I learned how to goal set. I learned how to add activities in my everyday life. I learned how to do that new skill I needed for my job because I was working. I learned how to work from home. I learned how to broadcast on the internet. I learned the systems, and now I can take that skill set, that experience, and apply that to something else. And that's what we want to use this as a view. You can see just a different perspective can make all the difference in your mindset, in your approach, in your enthusiasm, in your motivation. We need to look at it a certain way. So I want you to, if you notice the caption, it's make, in capital letters, make 2021 better. Don't just expect it to be better, because that probably won't happen. Or it won't be as good as it could be if you don't take charge and take control. So let's look at our plans. And again, we've got a whole year now. Think of it as goal setting. Don't worry about New Year's resolutions. Just think of it as goal setting or planning 2021. Plan out your projects, your goals, your you time, your vacation time that you can hopefully take and go on. If you like to travel or do things, hopefully that those things open up again. If not, have a plan B. What can I do if I can't go to Hawaii for a week like I want to in whatever, next November? What can I do? Okay, maybe I can do these events instead, or maybe I can do an inter country trip. Maybe I can travel within Canada to see something if that's open. Maybe I can't go international, but I can stay national. Have all their options there. Look at what could come up. Look at your timings of the year. I have clients who are teachers, and I suggest to them, sit and plan out your semester, just like you do for your schoolwork. Plan it out for your workouts. You know when report card times are. You know when there's reports and projects due. You know when there's breaks in the school year. Generally, again, this year it changed, but you know generally what the outline is. So plan those for those moments. You know report cards come. That's going to take up a bit more of your time, potentially. So rather than abandon your workouts, how can we make it work? How can we modify your schedule? How can we make it work enough so you get that, again, that checkbox? That's all we want sometimes, is that checkbox to go, yep, did my workout, pat on your back, good job. I have to fit that in every once in a while. And sometimes we need that, but it doesn't have to be a 2-hour sweat session. It could be a 20-minute stretch. It could be a walk around the block. There's different ways to look at it and approach it. But I tell them to look ahead, to plan in that time. I remember going to university and them giving us the syllabus for the year and saying, plan out your time now. It told us when the projects were due, when we had to have certain things in. We weren't always very diligent with it. But if we had been, it would have been a lot less stress, a lot more room for error if something came up, for the unexpected. And there was a built-in pacing to things. So again, you could have checkpoints. You could check along the way and see how you're doing. And that's what we need you to do now, is grab a calendar, grab a journal, a big whiteboard, whatever works for you, and just lay out 2020. Even just brainstorm. What are some things that you want to do, want to accomplish? What are some things that you thought you would do this year that maybe you didn't get to? Let's move them to next year, and hopefully we can get to them. And again, the things we can control, let's really plan for it. Let's not just put it on the list and forget about it. Let's make a plan. Let's set a goal. Let's have an end date. Don't just say, well, sometime next year I want to do this. Set an end date. By this date, I want to, here's my goal. And be very specific, very detailed with it. Because then again, if we can be very detailed and intentional with our goals and write them down, put them somewhere, then that kind of creates that framework so we actually know what we're working towards. Sometimes we're very loose with our goals, and then we don't really know what we want. We know, well, like, I want to lose a couple pounds, or I want to get better sleep, or I want to, I kind of want to learn language by some point next year. I want to brush up on my French or something. But then there's no definite goal, so our minds can't see it. There's no clear picture. But if you can say, hey, you know what, by September of next year, I want to have all kind of the rust off of my French and be speaking it again and practicing it with some friends, or reading French books again by September 2nd. And then by September 2nd, and then you work backwards to today. What steps do I need to put in to get me going, to make 2021 happen, to make that goal a reality? And that's what our emphasis has to be on. It's not just assuming it'll be better or hoping it'll be better. Those things, the hope especially, should be there. We want to have some hope and some faith. But again, we need to make the year better. We need to make the progress. We need to make the plan to have a better year, to have a successful year, to have a year where we reach all of our goals, a year where we learn more about ourselves. Because we always want to be learning, always want to be growing, like we've talked about before. But we need to make that a priority. And again, it's going to take work. Anything worth doing is going to take work. But that's the good part. The work is part of the fun. That's where you learn about yourselves. That's how you grow. That's how you develop the skills you need to do that goal and the rest of the goals that come up, or to know what not to do with those next goals. You've got, I'm going to say 9 months from March, basically, when everything kind of turned upside down. January, February, we're probably going pretty smoothly. A couple things were maybe some warning signs that something big was coming. But for the most part, at least from what I can remember, it seemed to be a pretty decent year. But then from March on, again, everything turned upside down. So think from March until now. So again, do your review. What did you have success with? What did you work on? What areas did you grow in? What areas did you have trouble with? What areas did you think you'd maybe be successful in, but had trouble? Look at all those too. Do your review, put it aside, and then get a new piece of paper, or again, flip the page in your journal, or whatever it is you're using, and let's start 2021. Where am I going? Where do I want to end up? What are my goals? What are the skills I want to learn? What are the things I maybe want to avoid? What are some of the maybe concerns or issues or difficulties I had in 2020 that I know I can control better if I make maybe certain changes or take certain steps? Write some of those down. And again, I always like to tell clients, pick the one goal that's going to make the most difference. Typically on my field, it would be the most difference in your health. Let's pick the one thing that's going to make the best improvement for your overall health, and let's make that our focus. And then when that goal's either in motion or almost achieved, Then we start on the secondary goal and the third goal and down the list. And as I mentioned before, usually that first big goal is going to help that second and third and fourth goal come up a little bit, being closer to being achieved, because you have the systems in place. Or again, everything we kind of do is intertwined. There's usually not just one kind of compartment for this and one for that. So then by the time you get to that second, third goal, fourth goal, whatever, it's so much easier because you've made progress in so many areas of your life. And that influence of that accomplishment kind of gets sprinkled on all of your goals. So again, write a bunch down. What do you want to do? And then pick the one goal. Just pick one that's going to make the most difference for you with whatever area you're looking to improve in. What's going to make the most difference in your life? What's going to put you closer to your dream, to what makes you happy, to what motivates you in the morning? What's going to make that difference for you? Focus on that. That's where we want to focus on first. And then again, as you focus on this, everything else is going to come along for the ride. So when you go to look at those goals, you already be on the right path to them. You just, again, take your framework, your system, plug it in over here, adjust it for that goal as you need to, but you get kind of a good idea of what's going to work. So I'd love to hear your goals. If you have some, feel free to share. If you're watching this on recording, or once you do this, come back to the post and comment. Let me know what your goals are for 2021 and how you're going to get there. What are some steps you need to take just to get that ball rolling? You don't have to share the whole plan if you don't want to, but what are one or two things you're going to do tonight and tomorrow, or kind of the next day, next couple days, to get yourself on the right path? Maybe it's finishing up a couple things from this year to get them off your plate. If you're with me in our virtual program in Unwind on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we talked about finding those 2 or 3 items that have always been on your to-do list, but you just kind of put them off for whatever reason, and picture how great you'd feel having them done, and then try to do one of them. Maybe it's something like that, where there's just a few things that if you could just clear them off your list and off your mind, you'd have more focus, more energy, less pressure on you, and you'd get even better results. You'd have more energy to do other things out with your family, to focus on those other projects that you need to get done, those goals that are so important. Maybe that's what you do between now and the first. Let's get some of those loose ends tied up, some of those things finished off that you haven't been for a while. So that, again, maybe a more clear mind can help you really focus and spend that energy on what you need to. I find if I have a lot too much on my plate, I get overwhelmed. I kind of spin my tires. I'm not sure which way to go. So I really need to focus on prioritizing what I need to do first, and spending some time to get some of those little things out of the way, things that I know I should be doing, but I'm focusing more on the virtual program or trying to do this or do that. So, but I know if I can get some of those things looked after, it'll clear up here. It'll clear that traffic a little bit. So there's not so many ping pong balls bouncing around up there. And the less that's going on up there, the more clear we can be with our thoughts and our purpose and our focus. We've talked about focus a lot this year. But there's so many things that you have to get done or trying to do, or when can I fit this in, or who can I get back to, and with the budget and do this and getting things going. If I can clear some of that out, then my focus on the task at hand can be even higher. And then again, I get better work done when I'm in the moment, or I'm spending better family time when I'm with them because I'm focused, I'm present, I'm in the moment. And then again, that trickles into having better work the next time because you had a great day with the family, or you got a lot of work done on that project. So let's go spend some quality family time. Focus, all those things. Again, everything intertwines with each other. There's no kind of one column of this and one of that. Everything is intertwined. So the more we can work on one system and making things better, then again, it's going to affect all the other areas of our life. So again, 2021 will be a better year, but you've got to make it happen. It's not just going to happen on its own. Or again, if it does, great, but it won't be as good as it could be if you put in some of the work and put in the effort and put in the purpose to having a great 2021. So if you need to, again, put it on a whiteboard or a Bristol board where you see it every day, put it on a sign, put it in on a piece of paper, put it on an alert on your phone, maybe that big goal, so your alarm goes off every day and you see that goal, that reminder. Make 2021 great. Maybe you write that, make, cap letters, make 2021, great. You're in charge, you're in control. Let's put the emphasis in and let's really take some onus of ourselves and our year and our lives. We can't rely on outside outlets. We can't rely on the media. We can't rely on the governments to give us a good year, regardless of what your thought is of any government that's in power or trying to be. Doesn't matter. We can't rely on them. They have to do what they have to do, and they make the decisions that they think are the best at the time. Their methods could be questionable, or the reasoning of their decisions, again, that could be questionable, but that's a different video altogether. So let's keep onus of our year ourselves and control what we can control. And maybe that's where you start. What can I actually control? And make a list. Where are the areas that I can control in my life right now? What are some areas that I haven't been controlling that I should be, that I've been leaving to other people, or just kind of leaving because I'm not sure? And then once you have that figured out, then maybe that's where you start. You pick one of those areas, and how can I improve this area? I can control my sleep patterns, so how can I improve on that? And maybe that becomes your worksheet, your goal setting sheet to get you going. Okay, well, if I change my bedtime routine and I change my bedtime my sleep time, and my wake up time, and how I get up in the morning and have to prep and this and that, maybe that becomes your big goal. And I know if I get better sleep, I'll be better rested. That'll help my focus. That'll help my workouts. That'll help my nutrition the next day. That'll help my stress. So maybe that's where you need to start. But maybe going through some areas that you can control, maybe that just kind of wakes you up, for lack of a better, no pun intended, but maybe that's what kind of fires you up and just helps you realize that, oh yeah, there's so many areas I can control. It's time for me to actually take control of them and guide the ship where I want it to go. I want to follow the map. The map is your plan. That's the goal. The goal is your X. X marks the spot. That's the treasure. That's your first goal. That's where you want to end up. So you got to follow the map. You got to take the wheel, and you've got to follow that map, follow that GPS. For those of you that maybe don't know what a map is, follow your GPS, your map app, whatever. You got to follow that path. You've got to stay on it. But if someone else drives, they can just go where they want to. They can take detours and turns, or just say, no, I don't feel like driving today. Let's just stop. You've got to be in control. You've got to make yourself matter to yourself. That's where it all starts. And then as you feel good and as you get results and as you see these accomplishments, again, that's going to further help you help those around you. And that's what we want to be able to do. But it all starts with you. It all starts within. So let's hear those goals for 2021. Let's make some time to sit and again, reflect on 2020. What worked, what didn't, where were there some obstacles, some hiccups along the way? Because again, that's how we learn, that's how we grow. Review 2020 and then put some time into planning 2021. Even if it's just a few months to get you started. Maybe go 6 months and work backwards. Or maybe have a big goal for 12 months, but then go back from 6 back so it's not so overwhelming. Or do it in chunks. Again, there's lots of different ways to do it. You have to kind of find the way that makes sense for you and is comfortable for you. So review 2020, set your goals for 2021, make your plan, review it, tweak it, adjust it, and then try to find a way to start it as soon as you can. Again, please don't wait for the 1st of January. Start now. Even if tonight is your review 2020 tonight, plan 2021 tomorrow night. And then the next day, that's your first step towards that goal. What can I do that 3rd day to really make 2021 a great year? And again, I'd love to hear from you what your goals are, what your plans are. Maybe you review what you found worked for you, what didn't work for you this year. To kind of help you have the outlet to get it out there, but also to help each other. And we have a great community here. I want to keep that going. Again, Sundays we're all together. Sundays we're in the open forum. It's not part of the virtual platform. We're live on the open platforms. We're all here together. So hopefully you'll continue to come and take part, whether you're in the virtual program, which obviously I hope you are, but even if you're not, I hope you still come into these PatFacts and contribute and talk and share. We've had some great talks over the past 9 months and helping each other, sharing information. I've stood in the middle of a field with 2 phones and turned the phones to each other so you guys could see each other and share that information, that energy that I feel when we get going. So I hope we can continue that. So again, let's share in the comments. Let's hear your goals. Let's hear some reviews. Let's hear a goal for 2021. And let's hear a couple steps you can put into place to help you work towards that goal. And if you're not sure, again, always reach out. If you have any questions, I'll help where I can. And if I can't, then I'll find someone who can give you the information or the direction that you're looking for. So that's it for tonight, gang. Again, I want you to make 2021. Hey, Cameron, thanks for hopping on. I want you to make 2021 a great year. It's not just going to happen. You need to create that through systems, through plans, through energy, through great self-care, and through controlling controllables and putting, again, the onus, the emphasis on yourself within your own hands so that you can progress and move forward and have a great 2021 and beyond. But we're just focusing on 2021 for now. But again, we always want to be growing and evolving. So 2021, plan it out after you review 2020, plan 2021, work backwards from your goal date to tonight or tomorrow whenever you complete this. And what's the one thing you can do to get that ball rolling? And that'll set you up for a great, great, great 2021. And I can't wait to share it with everybody and to have an amazing year and make the year that we all deserve to experience and to have by building and maintaining and working towards the lives we all deserve to have and the health we all deserve to have and the mindset we all deserve to have and to use. So go out there, put in the work. It's going to take that work, but I believe in you. I know you can do it. Put in the work, put in the plan. You can do it. Take a breath, carve out some time, make the time. And we don't all have time. We have to make the time to do things like this. Make the time for yourself to make 2021 a great year. And it will be. And I can't wait to hear about all your success in a year from now when we're here on a PatFacts on a Sunday, all chatting together next December, just before 2022. And as long as this year was, it went really fast. So 2021 is going to be the same way. So again, don't wait. Start now. You can do it. Put in the work, put in the time. And as always, make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Take care, gang. Stay safe. Be kind to each other.